process of sensitization and going to the National Assembly for the final ratification. I think the whole idea is to reduce the overall tax and to broaden the base. I think the intention is to really the high tax rates will go down so that it will broaden the base in order to be able to collect more from the non-traditional taxpayers.
Attention then shifted to the other sides of the economy. The IMF top official commended the Gambia for positive performances in health and education, but added that there is a great need for reforms. While the country tries to ensure stability, it must also not lose sight of the need to strengthen economic policies. Government, Don added, should also strategize the financing mechanism for the page. Asked by journalists about the seemingly consistent appreciation of the CFR against the Dalasi, Governor Colley said the demand for the CFR is high.
We have got a lot of migrant workers of Senegalese origin in this country, and the only currency that they use to repatriate whatever they earn in this country is the CFA and probably the euro to some extent. So we find ourselves in a situation where there is a constant demand for CFA.
The status quo in the Gambian economy as of now is not stable, but ongoing reforms such as the inquiry into tax evasion and other corrupt practices, the imminent introduction of value-added tax, and partnership with the private sector and development partners are tipped to triumph over challenges. Modou Lamine Cissé, Grts News.
The chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission has used the final lap of his nationwide sensitization tour to emphasize the need for aspiring National Assembly members to abide by the laid-down election rules and procedures. Grts' Babukar Kamara was with Alhaji Mustafa El Keriol and team, and he now tells us more about proceedings in the Upper River region.
He arrived at his final destination as part of his nationwide advocacy campaign to sensitize regional and traditional authorities ahead of the March 29 parliamentary elections.
You go to a polling station, you don't find your name. These are one of the problems. And now we have master register all over. Anywhere you go, you will find your name. See, and then we have increased the polling assistance. The training has been increased. We're going to talk to them. So things will be very nice this time.
During his meeting with Governor Omar Khan and his Council of Elders at Basse, Chairman Carriel reminded them of their functions in the electoral system as only facilitators before the elections and as observers during election day itself. During his second leg of meeting with governors and their traditional authorities within rural Gambia, Chairman Carriel traveled extensively to the remotest parts of the country to discuss with the electorate procedure and practice of the IEC electoral system.
They like this program that I'm doing, sensitizing them, because there are so many things that they don't know. People want to start for election, they don't know what to do. There are certain things the chiefs, elders, they don't know, especially the new system, 7 to 6. And then counting on the spot. And then I have so many things to inform them, to tell them not to do that during an election day. They should not be in the polling stations. If you vote, you go home so that the counting will be smooth.
As his tour finally winds up in Basse, Chairman Carriel is hopeful about the success of parliamentary election. He further urged regional and traditional authorities to scale up efforts in sensitizing their respective communities and constituencies about the IEC electoral code.
Your final message to the electorate as well as the authorities?
Everybody come out and vote, and then let them respect the electoral code. What they should do, they do it. What they should not do, they should not do it. The ground has to be smooth. Election is not to vote alone. The ground has to be level.
Babukar Kamara, GRTS.
The Minister of Fisheries and Water Resources, Abdul Colley, continued his familiarization tour of departments under his purview with a visit to the meteorological station at the Banjul International Airport and the water quality laboratory at Abuko. Samuel Bah tells us more.
Continuing his tour of facilities and installations under the Ministry of Fisheries, Water Resources and National Assembly matters, Minister Abdul Colley and entourage visited the offices of the meteorological station at the airport. There, the tour party was shown the different stages of how weather is observed and determined and how weather forecast messages are disseminated at home and internationally. Yankuba Jame, meteorological superintendent, took time to explain and show us the ways and different instruments in use to observe at the Weather Observatory Unit and how the information is essential to air travelers. From the observatory unit, information is sent to the Met office, where officials say they operate in 2 channels for civil aviation information from the globe and meteorological information gathered from local scenes. Here, weather reports are sent to the control tower in a routine manner and special reports provided in special events. The minister and delegation also visited the forecasting center. The center disseminates Met messages through satellite images for airlines to share information the world over. It is a network of global exchange of weather, Met officials said. This is the studio where the daily weather forecast seen on GRTS TV is produced. Lamin Maiture, Principal Meteorology and Head of Met Unit, asked for increase in the number of staff to ease the hugely demanding workload experienced in that unit. The department has seen some injection of new technologies. However, the senior Met officer has also called for the installation of new and appropriate technologies. Toure also commended the civil aviation for the support they render and hoped that the minister's visit would bring changes. Suleiman Jabang, Director Air Navigation, Gambia Civil Aviation Authority, expressed the important role meteorology plays in air travel.
We are not only looking at safety, but we are also looking at the expeditious nature of or way of transferring people and goods from one place to another. So regularity, efficiency, and airlines are interested in economic aspects as well, because it takes a lot of money for one journey, for example. So you want to be able to do it efficiently. So when the weather is bad, really, when it comes to planning from one for a pilot to depart from one point to another, weather is factored, really.
Usman Jaju, Director Water Resources, who has served the office for a long time, spoke about some of the issues raised by officials during their tour.
It's a challenge, but I hope by the end of the 3 years, we will be able to come up with this. We have started training people abroad, and hopefully they would graduate, but we are also going to recruit more people, because the more people we have, the better. We have almost 50% of the current observers who would be retiring very soon, so we need to have that plan. Of course, if they are still fit, it would be good to have them on contract while we recruit more staff.
As a ministry, we've listen to the constraints, and when we go back, we see how we strategize towards addressing some of these challenges. You know, it's not easy. As a government, we have challenges also in terms of finances and having to meet all the challenges that come from different sectors. But we have to put everything together and see what can be done from the government side and also from our partners and collaborators.
From the airport, the minister and entourage proceeded to the water quality laboratory at Abuko. Here we were shown different stock water installation related equipment and materials such as borehole construction to provide durable way of water supply. As staff Lamin Danso explains to the tour party about the lack of electricity in the store housing their equipment, something he says needs addressing since the watchman sleeps in near darkness to keep a watchful eye on the materials.
Now that I've seen, when I see a report, I will know exactly where it is coming from and the background to that report, and then I'll be in a better position to address that report. So I want to thank the staff for the hard work that they're doing, and that they can always count on the ministry for support within available resources.
After a day out visiting key places under his purview, Minister Koli commended the staff for what he refers to as their dedication to work. Samuel Ba, GRTS.
You can follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. We'll be back with more stories right after this break.
Do you know with only $100 scratch card or Nopal you can win your dream home? Kergi, Yaiborom. What? You mean this magnificent house? Yes! It's possible. Just load $100 scratch card or Nopal to win your dream home. Fully equipped furniture. Not only that, but every 2 weeks you can win beautiful sofas, bedroom sets, make your dream come true. Load $100 scratch card on Nopal, cause the more you load, the better your chances are. Kirgi, Yaiborom. it's only possible with your national GSM provider, Giamcell. Yae Barong.